Okay, Iron Boots, the Camelot team.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Big congrats for the race.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
You paid drink tonight.
Well done, guys.
It's
Well,
was exciting.
We'll pay for them now, and then you can pay for them in a couple of weeks, right? So.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, Daniel of Hubble. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
All good, all good. Actually, I was checking before. The most transaction on GLP AVAX++ is on Hubble.
Nice.
So not the size, but the number of transaction is winning in terms if you calculate like that. Let me see what else in the chat. Is Mithical? Martina. Martina is the fashion designer. Martina.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Martina she gonna put into merchandise all our art, because now we have a lot of art, different things that can a way to create a community. And I don't know if you want to give a small bio, Martina. Your background is in Paris.
Yeah, for sure. Can you hear me? Because like my audio is a bit postponed, so I hear you like with a delay. So I don't know if everything is fine.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So I'm going to present myself. I'm going to give you like a little biography. I'm an Italian fashion designer. I've been studying in Milan fashion design. And then like 10 years ago, I moved to Paris to do a master degree, always in fashion design. And since then, I specialized myself in menswear. So Luke and I, we known each other for like
maybe
20 years, more or less.
Yeah, maybe 20.
Exactly.
We're getting old, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're not changing. So, you know, we're always so great.
Yeah, but the idea is of course, our demo is, I would say, 98% males. There are a couple of women in Discord chat. They actually message for the private sales. I was surprised. But the idea is she's very good to create an identity between different, let's call it clan. I call it a contrada in the game. But the idea is we have a lot of custom art. And the art, like, for example, Vate or Mithical, if they bring a lot of people to the resort, they will be able to have a custom merchandise, but not just, this is just the t-shirt and very like this, but everybody can do that.
Yeah, this is the first draft we made. And because at the beginning we wanted to see if how could it work, because I live in France, he lives in Australia, all over the world, this guy. And so the idea is to create like small collections, with a custom design for the different clans that are in the game. And we started low with t-shirt. We made some other items, but the idea is to get bigger and bigger and create products that are more interesting.
Yes.
And a bit different from the other one. So my job is to create the community identity.
Yeah.
And
so of course, if you are 100 million TVL, we're gonna give a lot of stuff for free to our OG. So so it's a bit a function of that. But of course, what we really want from my perspective, why we have, for example, the resort divided with Avalanche and Arbitrum, because mathematically I can build a lot of structured product on top for the fact that I have a different user, a different idea. And we can use the vault in synergy. So say the Avalanche people, let's say, are more normal kind of people, crypto people are more risk seeking, and that I always design is an assumption. So for example, one of the first vault in Avalanche can provide the liquidity to the Arbitrum guys using Stargate in the middle, and we completely gamify the experience. But the idea that is we want to incentivize to people, let's say, healthy competition, if you hate each other but you're still trading, we're happy. But the idea is from correlation. My background in portfolio management volatility trading for many years, and the main strategy I was running is equity dispersion trading. It is basically based on correlation trading. So the different components are usually trade at discount versus trading versus the index, because the index is the laziest thing to do. So everybody want to punting on the SPX 500, so it tend to trade a premium and blah blah. And you can take advantage of this correlation mismatch, and we can actually financially engineering the kind of return I can repackage an interesting financial product by using the fact that we have a resort that is fun. So it's we use both sides of the story. And the idea is people, if you receive something that is physical, so people spend a lot more time, of course, we're all in Discord all day, but if you can also have something that looks cool and it can identify you to some identity, you're probably you're gonna stay in the resort and play or trading or invest for a longer time. So shall I add? Also Noemi is in the chat. Let's see. I don't. Hey Noemi. Noemi. Hello. Okay, who else is missing? I don't know, she's mute. Let's take it. The FIDO, we're missing someone else on the team because the other developer are based in US. In let's say.
I can't see the list of attendees on my screen, but yeah, but Pickle and Renzo are not being on this one because of the time difference. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay, Mr. Roy. Okay. So let's give our to start our guests to present each other from the different project. So we have here Iron Boots from Camelot. We have Daniel from Hubble, and we have Vate for Mithical. Alphabetical order is Camelot first, Hubble and Mithical, I think. So Iron Boots, if you want to just give a slight overview for your project and what have you done lately, apart a lot of money. And
that's always a good start. But yeah, no, yeah, great to meet you guys. Great to be here. I'll keep it short and sweet. But yeah, we're Camelot Dex. We're trying to bring a relatively fresh approach to how Dex should operate. And yeah, we're catering it very specific to Arbitrum builders. So yeah, most of the protocol's custom built, and we really just try to like focus more on the infrastructure side, right? Like, and I think, yeah, that's why I'm super excited to work with D2 and like support your liquidity, because I think, yeah, just in the market now, there's like a massive gap to really be able to like control incentives, to really be able to incentivize liquidity and rewards in like a super custom way. So yeah, like we built all of it from scratch, and I think you guys, I think D2 and I think you, Luca, like you're really gonna make the most of the infrastructure and like really leverage it. So I'm excited for that.
What is exciting with actually Cadmus, that is it's not here yet, but is introduced me to Camelot. I saw that actually this is a lot more customization. So our backend is an hedge fund, so we're performance driven, and we can't predict our performance. Otherwise, we'll have retired from the business more than 10 years ago. But the idea is gonna be, we assume the behavior gonna be a lot of reflexive. So you have a good month, you have people putting in the vaults, and you have a month, people gonna withdraw. So we want to basically, as any business, we want a stable business with the slightly growing revenue as a business. Our particular case is just fee in a hedge fund concept, but what we can use compared to a normal hedge fund, that you can do nothing. If you have a bad month, you need to just say, oh, Mr. Investor, yeah, we're gonna make it back next month. But instead, using the token and using the system reward token, we can incentivize our liquidity token. So to basically to allow the slippage that people are gonna in and out of the token according to the performance, gonna trade. What I assume the token gonna trade is some function of GMX and DOPEX plus specific factor based on the performance of the vault and the increase of the TVL of the vaults. And the idea that is going to be very difficult to predict. And so we need a lot of flexibility to actually say, okay, people want to get out, we need to provide more incentive to the user, or actually people are very happy to buy our token and there is nothing that we need to incentivize. So other platform doesn't allow the same flexibility Camelot does.
Yeah, no, so yeah, super excited for that. And yeah, like you say, right, like we can be very bespoke as well. So like, I mean, it doesn't even have to be for like LPs either. Like we can support literally any token. And if you only want to reward people that have locked for 6 months, if you only want to reward people that own 100K, like you can do whatever you like, right? So yeah, I think you guys are very excited for you guys in general, but I think you're definitely gonna make the most of what we've built too.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me see if Noemi now can connect. Just to say hello. Noemi?
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Can you hear me? Hello. How are you?
They already know you because everybody goes to the game. You're the favorite attraction at the moment. There is 3 Lucas, but nobody cares.
Fortunately, you cannot see my face because yesterday I was in Paris, so I had a sleepy face, so it's better for you. But yes, I'm here. It's 12 a.m. in the morning today, so in Spain. So yeah, I'm here. And this year was an amazing year after the COVID. We had a lot of party, and I'm so glad to be in a part of the family. So I can't wait to see you maybe next year or for the end of the year. So we had like 3 days of party, 72 hours of the party, like Amnesia with the Row, or Pasha with Music On, and the last DC10. So I'm really excited, really excited.
Yeah, so there is no fitter job description. It's Noemi is the head of party of BWS. So it's like with trading. It's just what we do. And the idea is from next season, so we're gonna have a yacht party. So if you see in the resort, there is a yacht. And according, of course, there is some variable of how the protocol is going and everything, but we're gonna real party where Noemi, you're gonna be in basically Ibiza all summer. And so we have multiple events through the year. We have special events for the partners or for, let's say, our OG. And of course, Noemi gonna organize amazing party. So last time in July, she found different models and everything. So we can have fun. I'm just saying because this is recorded, so I don't want to imply anything more.
Yeah, you cannot imagine what's gonna happen next year. So
yeah, exactly. And so say now is 12, but on next call, for example, Noemi gonna call us. Will be already party because it's gonna be Saturday night from Europe. So it's good. And yeah, so
I can show you something tomorrow.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good. People are excited. You have a lot of returning customers in the call. Yeah, sounds good. And so I think next is alphabetical order. I think is Hubble. So Daniel.
Okay.
So let me just say we actually use it a lot in sense for the spread. So for us, what is really changed is the I don't remember exactly the date, but some time ago you had the possibility to use WIT as a collateral. So it make it, in my opinion, and mathematically, I don't know, I don't know all the DeFi protocol, is that one of the best way to express the ratio between AVAX and it.
Yeah,
that of course is tradable. So for us is very helpful in our trade in the GLP AVAX++, but also in the future Vault, because at the moment the number of assets that we trade is restricted. So we trade a lot of the spread and I would say the short-term momentum of the trend, the short-term momentum between the different tokens that exhibit, and we need to get in, get out, and Hubble does a very good job. But you can give a better presentation than me. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, Hubble is a perpetual futures exchange, and as Lucas said, one of the main features is that it's multi-collateral and cross-margin. So you can use ETH as collateral to, in this moment, to short or long AVAX, and that opens lots of interesting possibilities, like the ones you guys have been taking advantage of. We are currently building or focusing our efforts in our V2. And we are gonna list also more collaterals, so I guess Luca will be happy. And it's been and I just wanted to say that BWS has been amazing. I really like how you guys are approaching all of these, like all of DeFi, basically gamifying everything, making it fun, mixing it with fashion even. That's very cool, man.
Yes, yeah, the idea is to really put the new people in. The gamification is what, so at the moment with the market down, nobody gonna care, but in order to be, to take advantage of the next bull market, it does speculation, it's gonna be another run in sense of the technology, because it's the cycle. I think the gamification part, because the new user they're gonna be are different than the last cycle. Every cycle they change a little bit, and I think the big opportunity from DeFi is actually to onboard the user to very simple gamify, because at the moment you have a lot of geek and nerd, which is good, but it's 0.01% of the population. So you don't have 1 billion users if it's not make it at least interesting a little bit. In a bull market, of course, it's easy to make it interesting because everything go up, everyone can make money, but it's not a sustainable business. You have a bull market like 2021 or 2001 in 20 years. I'm not sure if our lifespan is going to be until 2042. So I prefer to prepare to basically to have a protocol that take advantage on the growth in a more sustainable way, but make it easy, because I don't know if many people already listen to our AMA, but I have, for example, a bachelor in economics, a master in IT, a master in investment management. I started a PhD in machine learning and moved to finance. So there is a lot of things you actually need to do in order to arrive a level to basically build a portfolio with risk-adjusted return, and it's very difficult to explain and will be boring for 99% of it. So we already lost Noemi probably in the call. But anyone can enjoy the access and through basically DeFi compared to an hedge fund. So in my previous hedge fund, the smallest ticket customer is probably $100 million asset manager, like a pensions fund or something. And through DeFi the world technology, where can open up the access to more sensible investing than just I buy, I hope it go up. Let's say.
Yeah, I totally agree. I also feel like every cycle it becomes more important. And we've seen that. Like I was barely in crypto in 2017. Like I just bought some coins, but I remember was just buying coins and basically nothing else. And I never even used anything on blockchain. And on the other hand, like I feel like 2020 was already like people actually using things. So it feels like it's becoming more and more important to, access every cycle, access it improves, and it's important to be really ready for that.
Yeah, and so in a part of access, one of the best way to actually to onboard the user to the NFT, because it's very simple and typically not all, but the price tag is easy to explainable, and as a JPEG for NFT for my client, it's just a way to explain what an NFT is. That is actually can do a lot of more things than just JPEG. But the idea is the best way to onboard everybody, basically, because everybody like nice picture that identify with something they like, they believe with. And so our next guest is Vate from Mithical.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, hey, thanks, Luca. Hello, Noemi, as well. Yeah, so we were talking about NFTs indeed. Mithical is an NFT project on Arbitrum. It was born almost a year ago, and we launched using an innovative minting mechanism called yield minting, where basically instead of paying to mint, you lock some funds, which we call a deposit, into a farm where you accrue farming rewards for like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks, after which you get your deposit back plus the NFT that you minted, and the protocol retains the farming rewards. And this is like, I guess, like it is an innovative way of minting, in the meaning that the mint is virtually free. Users get their initial deposit back, and the protocol at the same time can get some revenue from it. As Luca just said, like we believe that NFTs are a great way of onboarding new users, because especially like on Arbitrum, we are Arbitrum Axis. We think that there are a lot of super cool financial products, and I'm not gonna be here just naming them, because literally like a lot of valid products. The thing is that the way that we see it, like, in a very cynical way somehow, is that those products are super cool, but there are many products where people lose money. You know what I mean? Like there are just few big players that can manage to make money, but most people actually end up losing money. So how do we make this like a better experience for everyone? How do we onboard people like through NFTs, through art? Our motto is trying to bring people together through art. And as Luca said, like people like to identify with things they like. People love collectibles, because I think that we all come from that generation that started using like how you say, like trading cards and these kind of things, be it like from football players or Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh. So NFTs in that sense are a great mean and a great medium in order to achieve that. And we are very happy to be part of a resort. We're going to be providing some assets to be included into the resort. There's already like a mini game, winking at the sunnies, which, by the way, Luca, your mini games on the resort are super hard. Like I cannot beat the blueberry guy playing, they are just so hard, man, like making me go crazy.
So
but,
we have
yes.
We're an update with the Lily game, where also there are samurai.
Okay, so what, rather than just take you through the games on the resort, we'll just show you the videos. It's a bit faster to get into the action. So you can see this one.
Yeah.
Copy the critter's move. Press the buttons in time to the music.
Right, shoot, up, shoot. Up, left, up, left, up, left, up, left.
Hey, we are pumping today.
Shoot.
Left, shoot. Right, shoot.
Left, shoot. Right, shoot.
Yeah, you can just see the link.
You can get the idea of,
if you wanna one of the level of the game, you can steal a loot from the samurai. So the idea is to be a little bit cheeky every game, just to make you laugh. I don't expect until there is no economy, you wanna play 5 hours in the resort. We don't expect that. But when, say, to give the number simple, there is no financial implication, blah, blah. But say the token is worth 100 million, and we allocate 20 bips of the supply to basically play to earn. So we are not a Ponzi. We actually but we can use the play to earning component that they have nothing to that, like Axie. So the first thing I tried to Axie, it was a bad game. The only point was it seems to spit out money. But the idea, we can onboard a lot of users, say $200,000, say, I don't know, Philippines, just to say other people that already enter in the game. And the idea, they can play many hours because they're just simply paid. And they can create a lot of buzz around the resort, that probably the Venn diagram of people are gonna play the game, the resort is not a lot correlated to the people going to invest, but it's still going to create a lot of interest, because I'm pretty sure we are the first ever hedge fund with a game interface. When I was in Hong Kong to see my ex-boss last week, I always start, it's nuts. But if it is what is giving a lot of optionality to the game. So the game, if you try 1 month ago, even yearly, is improve a lot the functionality. And now it's a lot smoother. You can go around to the game, to the playability. But the idea is that we are able to smooth a lot because it starts like just an idea, but they're able to make it quite very attractive visual was the main point. So we are not competing with Fortnite or for AAA, but I probably have more than 150 meetings, and everybody found attractive visually. And the idea is if find, for example, say you're reading the Mithical community with as Vate said, and you find your samurai clan already in the resort, of course you're gonna check it out. Psychologically, you can't resist. It's like a drug. So we want to basically onboard very high quality, so where the community is established. So because unfortunately it's very difficult to sort for the utility of NFT in this space because there's been a lot oversupply. But the idea is we can help a project that have just the art component to give a utility. Because say you get some particular incentive if you're Mithical, and you have, I don't want to say the word airdrop, otherwise the bot's gonna assault me. But we can basically reward the most strongest community that help to grow the size of the pie, generally speaking.
Makes sense.
And yeah, so also Daniel, you have also this similar concept with this space
Hubble
cut.
space cut, yeah. We airdrop it to our early test nodes, and now we are basically people can farm NFTs as well in Hubble Exchange by providing liquidity or by trading or providing funds to the insurance fund. So yeah, it was our way to create an identity and make people engage beyond just a bit like what you said, gamify the experience a bit. And also we are using our NFTs as governance token at the moment because we don't have a liquid token, but we also wanted to start out decentralized and give our community a voice. And so we use NFT PFPs as a governance token in Hubble Exchange.
Yeah, and also Iron Boots have all the concept, of course, of the roundtable. So thank you for inviting us, but use some aspect to as well,
Yeah, exactly. No, I think you guys are definitely very bullish with like your retail / institutional approach. Like, I mean, maybe I'll save this question for later, but I definitely want to hear like directly from you, Luca, of like how you compare like your vaults versus kind of what else is on Arbitrum. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but that is a question.
Sure. So I publish early the estimate of the P&L. So we have a portfolio management system at the moment, but it doesn't support all the. For example, the options are wrong. They're so premia were priced at intrinsic. So for example, the 17K call was priced at 0, still values. And Dopex is not really there. So there was some estimate, but so at the moment, since the Vault GLP AVAX++ went live on the 23rd of November, so we return about 114 bips. That means 26% APY. And the idea is we harness the power of GLP, but we improve the risk return characteristics because, for example, we were long the tails. So if the market was down a lot, we were making a killing. If the market is up a lot, we were making a killing. If the market doesn't move that much, we lose the premium in the option, as we did, but we have enough money coming from the GLP++ and the other trading, for example, the spread with Hubble, all the other independent bet that we can construct with our universe, we can take advantage when the relationship go out of whack. And the idea, there is really nobody even close in the approach, because if you coming from a dev background, like seems a lot of other, I wouldn't call it competitor, but people that in the Vault space, they just want to try to find kind of a magic formula. I mean, I'm trading since I'm 18 years old. There's no magic formula, unfortunately, and you need to keep it dynamic. And especially in the option space, why actually I like option is because people don't really understand options. It's very hard things. You don't really can study in a book and become option trader. You need to suffer, be punched in the face a lot. And I did that. So I traded my first option in my board year on 18, in my 18 board day. It was 2006. So it's it'd be a long journey before I understand a little bit something. So is if you just try to do the delta one, you can have like, you have the key that can get lucky with the Dogecoin. But in option space, no, you can't really last and build a track record if you don't really have a proper risk management. That is the most important thing. So a lot of people are focused how to make money, which is this shouldn't be. What you need to focus on to protect the money that you have first. And typically, if you put all in place a strategy that with a positive EV over time, and you protect your downside when your just luck is not in your favor, the upside tend to take care of himself. So I think the approach from a more slash quant about in active fashion is not really, there is not many people that trade the notional derivative I trade in my career. So I already trade for 3 different hedge funds, I trade for a bank, and my last hedge fund is PHG, so it's a $50 billion asset manager. So I have access to, it's all under NDA, so let me careful at this to say what they say. A large pool of capital, and I was prime with Goldman, Morgan Stanley, was one of the prime client, especially in Asia, to them. So you understand how you deal with the risk, and especially liquid the risk. So what I always say when I go in TradeFi, I say like crypto market is the China onshore on steroid. So it's very different at US market institutionalized. So China onshore is what is similar is a lot of retail activity. So between 50-60% or activity in China onshore is retails. So you have very similar dynamics because humans are humans. You can be in Shanghai or Rio de Janeiro or Sydney. You have very similar tendency. And the idea you have a very short-term narrative that play out, and maybe there is a fundamental reason, maybe not. Price go up, people like it, and they create the narrative. So a lot of what is very common is you have a short-term story playing out. It may or may not be true, but so for example, in about 1 year ago was everything about metaverse. So Facebook announced this 10 billion investment. So their stock on down 70%, but there is a lot of project with very, so our budget, the FIDOP test was not very high, and we build up a fully functional product. I think it's fun enough, but there are people with literally between 10 to 100 times the budget. They didn't produce nothing. In sense, or the people that rise 1 year, about 1 year, 1 year ago at this time.
I was just like, there's obviously a few like options protocols like already on ARB, etc. But what would you say is like the biggest missing piece, like from your perspective of like being a very active like trader, manager?
So
like,
I'm very bullish on Dopex, and I really want the OLP, so the secondary market for option, because it's very difficult at the moment. For example, you buy an option, you can't really sell it. So you have a big move in TradeFi, you typically will restrict the option. Say I buy a 17K Bitcoin call when the spot is 16,400. Okay, so that is in a 10 days off is a 30 delta option. So I have a certain Greeks characteristic, and market go up. Now become at the money option or even in the money option. I maybe don't want that. I want to restrike to a 17,600. Okay, to have keep the same same profile that same payoff that my model tells me is optimal at the time. I cannot do that at the moment. So
do you have your eyes on like the next people that are building that? Is that like Premier's V3? Is that close to what you'll need for that?
So Dopex tried to do that, and of course DSQ is built on Dopex and GMX as a main partner. So I'm really bullish on Dopex team to deliver a good solution. I will not say that it will be the only solution. So for us, I will say I'm not a Lego builder, I'm a Lego assembler. So any good Lego I can put together and put together in a very complex fashion that will be impossible to do for 99% of people, and to offer a superior risk-adjusted return over the long term. So taking the various opportunity, different one, but to create a very good secondary market is actually very, I don't want to bore the audience, but it's very hard. So there is a reason why there are basically 5 market makers in US, and they're all prop shop from Citadel, Susquehanna, that they build a very big edge and they increase the barrier to entry. So in US, for example, there are 14 exchange to trade option, which is absurd. And you trade with 5 people, technically. But what this means, there is to run a good option market making business, you probably need to spend between 50 to 100 million per year. So you create a barrier to entry and you widen the margin, you make the business going. So it's very hard to have just one small exchange that is gonna create a lot of market share. So the reflexivity that you can have in GMX, for example, is gonna be a lot slower in options. So the little bit didn't get too much traction because the spread are terrible. I don't know if you ever trade there, but to solve this, a liquid option space is very hard problem. I hope somebody gonna solve it in a way, but the way we're gonna help to solve the problem is to basically, so for example, GAPEX++. So we didn't have a signal yet because now it's a bit boring market. So there is no there is no signal at all for that strategy. But basically we repackage option payoff, but trading in Delta One. So if you assume you can, if you take all the assumption of a black and short for granted, option are redundant asset because you can replicate the strategy. Let me know if I speak something that is comprehensible.
No, super interesting. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to derail the combo, but I know
yeah, this become very geeky. I can see just my face. So about I imagine some people think, what's this people talking about? We are talking about fashion games, and now they're thinking about advanced option theory. So it's the idea we were able to create a wrapper structured product like Ribbon well priced. So all the price in Ribbon are pretty bad, because simply you need to have a market making on the other side. So there are multiple people in the middle that need to get paid. So ribbon fee, market making fee, slippage, blah, blah. As a result, we can gamify complete interaction, and we're traders, so we are Volt will take risk and Volt do risk recycling, all internal to the ecosystem according to the user. So we can still have give access to option payoff. So people don't care what actually the instrument is. They care about the payoff, they're going to achieve some particular goal. And we can help to replicate that through multiple Volt.
Yeah, I think, Luca, I think on a high level for a non-options trader like me, I think the very fact that what you're saying is so technical and complex is kind of the proof of our business model. Is there's a lot of complexity going on under the hood. And what we are able to do is essentially do a simple point of entry and a simple point of exit for guys who just do not want to deal with this. And I think it also speaks to how much we've been able to build on the protocol on, you know, an incredibly small budget, is put in an entire vault system, put in trading strategies, and have this game. Yeah, I think it just speaks for how far we've been able to come in such a short time, and that we're able to boil all this down into something that's going to be very simple for the user.
So some people, in fact, drop out. I saw like 4 or 5 people drop out from my list. Let me actually open the question to everybody. So I allow to talk everybody that is in the chat. So whoever want to speak can speak. I see. Yeah. I don't know. And now I have two screen, but I hope it's okay. So if everybody have any question for the team or me, please shoot. Or if somebody have something else that want to ask specifically. Everybody's shy. So Vate, you have any question about the financial component, apart to say hello to Noemi? You have other contribution?
Yeah, I'm in for the tech, man. I'm in for the finance and the tech. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that, you know, as Mithical, we are doing like something that we believe to be super cool. I don't know if there's any Sami in the call because I cannot see the list of people participating, but basically we have created this capital fund. I don't know what to say, like it's called Beggooor Capital. And under Mithical escrow, we are investing into DSQ. Why are we doing this? Because in the private round, there is a minimum amount of Ethereum that you have to pledge. The thing is that not everyone can afford that. So what we are doing is that we are creating a contract which will make able, like, you know, will enable people who would like to basically pledge with a smaller allocation. You know, you can deposit 0.5, you can deposit 1 Ethereum, and then through a front end, you can manage your allocation as if you have deposited directly. So this technically means that you can bypass that 10 Ethereum minimum if you do that under Mithical escrow. And I think that this is also kind of like brings us back to the point of like NFTs, like bringing community together and onboarding new users that otherwise, as you pointed out now, Luca, they might be a little bit intimidated by like all these, you know, finance talk and these kind of things. Yeah. Just wanted to say that. And again, like we are super excited to be doing this because we truly believe in Discord as a project. I think that I found the project when, you know, the Discord had like 200 people in it, like it was super new. And I was like immediately fascinated by the design, the game, and also like by the finance as well, because I'm not like a tech guy, I'm not a finance guy, but I find this like super interesting. So very, very glad to be here today as well.
It was a very good idea. So for the pre-seed, we have a TWB consortium. So there are kind of different people that put money around to basically meet our pre-seed limit. We're very passionate, actually. Again, they didn't have too much finance experience, but they have very good question and really like the gamify aspect. And we're very happy to basically, one of the goal is also when you work in hedge fund, you basically you make more money for rich people or for institution. Here you have also the chance to offer a more sophisticated product also to the regular people.
Yeah, one thing I like about Mithical getting involved is the cultural richness. If you think of like users who, we talked about the trading cards and who have got some of their identity and passion into the community, the game allows us to do this very flexibly. It allows us to, I mean, for example, there's the whole samurai thing going on with Mithical that lets us give so many options for how you can incorporate that into gameplay, how you can incorporate it into visual design, how you can create little areas on the island. And it gives people something to do and something to talk about, because a lot of people enjoy being involved in the community. But if you're just talking on a Discord about a number and a vault going up, you can kind of run out of ways to get involved. But if you've got all sorts of visually attractive and interesting things going on in the game, all the people on the Discord, they have a lot to talk about, and there's all sorts of opportunities there.
Yeah. So we have Zach Nisterloy that I think is from the Yeti team. Maybe it's from also other team. If you have any question, please shoot. And we have a Staked Queen, I guess, if I remember correctly. We spoke the other day. Actually, she did a very good thread about us 2 days ago. And if you guys have any question, we have Liz. We have Smith. If you guys any particular question, we're happy to cover. So there is a lot of area we can go to the protocol. It's actually have probably 2025 investor meeting this week. So, totally, you go in totally different direction because some people are very interested in the game, in the metaverse aspect. And some people we talk about just finance, and we don't even focus on the game. So
can I ask another boring finance question in the meantime? Is that
sure.
all right? Like, will you launch with like capped vaults or like?
Yeah, everything gonna be heavily capped initially, and
Okay.
we slight increase according to both liquidity, the market momentum, and so at the moment it's just my money, and I'm gonna double up the size next in 2 weeks, whenever the next round is, and so Pickle, that our idle facility, is gonna it basically we can release a vault contract. It's already V2. That is the one we're gonna audit, and will be a lot of more training restriction and security for the users, but it's still a new project, so we want to really be reasonable in a way that we're gonna scale. The market is gonna be there. We just want to get things right.
Yeah, perhaps I speak in the absence of Pickle right now, because yeah, so what we've got like a V0 at the moment, because obviously we're at an early stage of building out. So with a V0, we decided to guard a guarded launch with only Luca's money, because of we couldn't put in all the controls we wanted directly into the contract. So what our team is doing right now is we are working on what we call the V2 vaults, where we put particular restrictions into the smart contract of what the trading strategy is able to do in terms of which addresses it's allowed to interact with and which functions it's allowed. So we've got a progressive building out of controls to protect users' funds, but obviously this takes time and it's complex. So that's why we originally guarded the launch to just Luca's money, because we didn't want to be taking third-party money when we haven't got all our controls in place.
Yeah, and we already in talk with different auditors to basically we need to see exactly what's the how much change we're gonna do. So as probably you see, a very big vision. But my solidity team is gonna kill me if we go to straight away to what we want originally. So
sorry, Luca, sorry to interrupt. Shall I Pickle actually prepared a few notes for this call with him not being able to be on. I can just read out exactly what he spoke to on this point.
Yeah.
So okay, so you said in answer to the question, how does the protocol work on chain? I'll just read out. It's only 2 paragraphs. So the core of D squared is the vault contract. Each strategy has an associated vault, and the vault is an ERC 4626 yield bearing single staking contract, which works in epochs. So I don't think there's any news there. Each epoch has a funding window and an epoch period. And during the epoch period, deposits and withdrawals are closed. A trader address, which is immutably linked to the vault, can then take custody of the vault's funds and deploy them using defined strategies to earn yields. So the minimum product for this, the V0, uses a multi-sig for the trader address. And our top development priority is the trading strategy, which will be a smart contract, which will only allow interaction with approved addresses in approved ways. This removes the need to trust the multi-sig signers to custody your funds. And if shall I continue to say a little bit about what Pickle said about the audit? Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So we believe strongly that audits are an important part of protocol safety, and we want the whole protocol audited eventually. That said, business and runway needs need to be considered, especially because of market conditions. So if a whole protocol audit isn't possible initially, we're going to have the core fund handling pieces, such as the vault and the trader contract, given the priority. And then anything which is not externally audited will, of course, be very rigorously scrutinized internally before deployment, and we have dual sign-offs on that and an approval mechanism. Pickle himself has contacts with audit firms and knows which ones are reputable and which ones are chances. So when we do go for an audit, we should have access to high quality auditors. Okay.
Any other question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask something. So your product is like, it has, as you said, like all this, like all the vaults are like basically financial structured products, and then you also have all these the marketing thing, like the games and the all this retail facing thing. How are you planning like to use like basically to educate, to bridge one to the other? Are you also creating like educational material or planning to, or?
So at the moment, so for example, we want to really make it simple. So for example, you cannot do it yet, but we already implement, there is a Beggooor that a model they're gonna basically, they say you bottle of champagne and you actually invest in the vault. And the idea in the GAPEX, so GAPEX is the most risky strategy of the one we show. And the idea is a digital call option where you lose one, you make 2.5. So you can gamify that you get a bottle of champagne. If you win, so there is all gamma replication on top of the boring finance part, the Iron Boots, the only guy that care about it. But you basically win 2.5 bottle of champagne or whatever is in default. So that is the aspect. So to really do the financial education right, so we have so Colony is one of the investor in BWS, and they already do something like that. And we will try to pool resources with other protocol, maybe with Hubble, to basically to try to educate on average, but we don't want to really to make it boring, because
no, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
The problem is investing done right is boring. There's nothing exciting in trading. You should my normal day just looking correlation metrics, and it's not really. If I said if is
there is no way to make it pretty.
Yeah, there is no way. As I said, the Wolf of Wall Street and everything, that looks very fun, but it's nothing to actually work in hedge fund. Would be the most boring movie ever if you just do what is actually happened to work in a quant fund. So yes, it's yes. The short answer is yes. We'll try to educate, but it will very important for me that still is a fun party vibe experience. So to do the old education,
yeah, it can break the experience if you don't do it. Yeah.
So yeah, and so with us it's a question. So we already basically 1 hour up. So maybe last question, or anyone else want to say something, promote something that is so good?
Shall I maybe just say a little bit about the DopexNFT side of this?
Of course.
In terms of the team, we haven't really spoke much about the team.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're all aware, this is a joint venture, and the way we set it up is I am head of the studio for DopexNFT, and then the studio, DopexNFT, provides the Solidity, the front end, and the game design. And then BWS, through Luca, brings in the trading strategies and has also been doing a lot of the marketing. So we have this symbiosis, this JV. So within the DopexNFT side, what we have is we have a Solidity team with the head Pickle, who's not on the call right now. We have the front end team. The head is Renzo. So we're going to have the team represented tomorrow's AMA to talk more about this. And then, as you see, we got Crypto Rat on the call as well. He's been here since the beginning, working with me to set up the teams, and he's actually done huge amounts of the coding because these heads we put in quite recently to bring into the protocol. And then I also do the lead design of the game, working closely with Luca for what is going to feature in the game. And then I work with our team, which is actually quite a big team. It's an unusually big team for the budget. So yeah, so this is how we've structured it internally, is we have heads of team. So we have Luca, head of trading. We have Pickle, head of solidity. We have Renzo, head of front end. I'm head of game, and I also double up as head of studio. And then Crypto Rat is our head of tech, who ensures that the solidity and the front end particularly can integrate, because we need the integration for going back and forth through the vaults. So yeah, that's like a kind of quick overview, but the guys will be on the chat tomorrow to give you more on that.
Sounds good. Yeah, if it's no one else, I want to check the portfolio. and yeah, it's so just to close out, so we're gonna open the private sales on Sunday 8 a.m. UTC, and the details are available in the deck. But it's basically, as Vate said, there is a minimum entry ticket because you get a much lower valuation. You're completely aligned with the team. You have completely the same vesting. So the tokenomics medium went up quite a bit ago. But the idea, the short answer, will take care of early OG as best in our possibility. And we are going to have very small public sales, because given the market, and given our business model, we really want the validation of the price action to basically attract user to the vault and make it fee. So we're going to generate fee from day one, because the vault are going to have a fee structure, but of course it's a function of TVL and the performance. And the idea, everybody in the between team and seeders, and there is no VC that can dump in user. So we assume that the token gonna trade in some beta on top on GMX on it. So of course the market is the market, but they're gonna be any selling pressure whatsoever for 6 bond for part the people buying the public sales. So we are really looking for, so of course everybody say this for the long run, but we think we have a real project that can generate a fee. And as a team, we don't want to get diluted too much, to be honest, because as the FIDO already said, I want annuity. So, and the idea is that we have when we have enough fee to have a sustainable protocol, so the 50% of rewards, they can be burned. And so if that happen, that means already token do well, that it can really help to scale up, because you reduce the supply 40%. It's probably typically a good, I can imply anything for the token, but let's say it's typically okay. And that's the idea. There is also Manu, I just let him talk a little bit, because so Noemi is gonna party every time. So, but to organize the party in Ibiza, there is also Manu. Are you in the call? Can you hear us, Manu?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. So basically, Noemi already stopped before and say hello. But the idea, if you go to Ibiza, there is actually somebody going to organize a nice vacation with events.
Yeah,
if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi guys, I'm Manu. I'm actually in Bali because no party in Ibiza, so I'm following the flow. But I'm going to be in Ibiza in April. Actually, my job is to make the people enjoy the island, the party, and whatever is involved with the parties. I know Luca since a lot of time, 12 years. I was involved in the same project I'm involved, and now he's involved in many projects. Every project he makes is successful. So for me, it's a pleasure to work with him and with you guys. So I just wait that you come to the island as soon as possible. So see you there.
Yeah, so the idea is, according to the success of the protocol, we still have events. So if we have $100 million protocol, we probably have events every week. But the idea is, if you're early OG and you're a supporter, we're gonna take care of you as best as we can, not just financially, but also in terms just to have a good time.
Of course.
Sounds good. So the hour is past, so I think we can end up the call if no one else have any other question. And thank you very much I appreciate your time, Iron Boots, Daniel, and Vate, particularly.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It's, I'm very bullish. I can't wait to see you guys. You're doing it perfectly for the retail, for the institutions. You're doing it all. I'm very excited.
Likewise, thank you for inviting us, by the way. It was a good EMA.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Luca.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Martina. Sorry to bore you all the time. Ciao.
I know it's interesting. Bye.
Bye-bye.